Hello, in today's video I'd like to show you guys how to inspect a data frame, just doing some basic structural inspection at first here. Okay, so again we're going to work in Colab here with Python, and the goal here is I just want to show you guys how to do some basic little commands that can get you a brief idea of what the structure of your data frame looks like when you pull it into your notebook. So what does it mean to inspect the structure of a data frame? So basically what we're going to do is take a look at the shape of the data that you have, the size of it, maybe what are some first and last values of it, just to get an idea of what what values are there, how many rows and columns do you have, and then the data types, which is important to know, like what you're working with down the line whenever you start manipulating this data. So the first thing we're going to do is import our libraries. So we're going to import Seaborn. So we have the penguins data set from Seaborn, and then importing pandas as well. So we're going to go ahead and load up the penguins data set, which you may have seen if you've ever worked with this data set before, is just some penguin data. So there's 344 rows, 7 columns. It tells you species, bill length, body mass, stuff like that. Okay, that's what we're going to work with today. You can use any data frame that you pull in from Seaborn or from any other website like Kaggle or any data set that you might make on your own in Excel. It doesn't matter. You can pull in any data set and use these methods with it. So the first one I want to show you is the head method. So it's specifically the .headEnd method. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to type out our penguins data set. Okay, that's where I put the penguins data from the Seaborn library, whatever you call it. A lot of times people call it DF or data or data frame. I like to name mine penguins so we know, like, hey, that's the penguins data. Okay, so all you're going to do is you're going to type in whatever data set you're working with, and then you're going to put .head and then a parentheses. And what this is going to do automatically, if you don't put any number inside those parentheses, is it's just going to show you the first 5 rows of your data. Okay, remember, Python is 0 index, so it starts off at row 0, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4, so there's 5 total rows here. So it's just going to show you the first 5 rows of your data. This is a really quick and easy way to look at your data set. Again, whenever you just open up your data set, okay, and you just type in, like mine's penguins, you get the first 5 rows here, and then it kind of truncates this, and then you get the rest of the rows, the last 5. Okay, sometimes this takes up a lot of stuff on your screen. Maybe you don't really care about these last ones. You don't need to know that there's this split here. It's a lot easier just to say, okay, I'm pulling in the penguins data, .head, parentheses, close, and then you see here's your first 5. And it gives you an idea what you're looking at here. It gives you an idea, is it, complete? What kind of numbers are there? What kind of labels do we have? Like, what's going on here? It's a really nice and easy way to just see the first rows really quickly. Notice it's the .head with the little n method here. So that n is going to give you a number value you can type in there to change something. Okay, again, if you don't type anything in there, it defaults to 5, but you can put a number in there and that'll just tell you how many of the first rows you want to see. So let's say you just want to see the first row. You could put your data set penguins .head and then put the number 1 in those parentheses. And then boom, it just shows you just that first row. Let's say you want to see the first 10 rows. Again, you could put 10 in the parentheses and it shows you the first 10 rows here. Okay, you could put any number in there you want. Okay, and a common is 5. Again, that's what it defaults to. But sometimes it's nice, hey, I want to see the first 7 rows, or I want to see the first 10 rows, or whatever. It can be very helpful. Okay, the second method that I want to show you is very, very similar. It's basically the same thing, just kind of opposite, is tail. Okay, and you can think that, head to tail, it's kind of common, opposite, beginning and end, things like that. So the tail method is just showing you the last rows now. Okay, so again, it's .tail with parentheses, and you can put a number in there. So if you do penguins.tail and you don't put any number in there, it shows you the last 5 of our penguins. Okay, it shows you the last 5 rows. If you want to see just the last row itself, again, just put a 1 in there, and boom, it takes your last row and it just shows you that. Same thing, you could do the last 10 rows, you could do the last 20 rows, you could do the last 50 rows, the last 5 rows, it doesn't matter. Okay, however many rows you want to see, you put in there. It's just tail's going to count up from the bottom, whereas head starts from the top. So again, it's kind of nice to see, what do the last rows of data look like. Okay, the third method I want to show you today is .shape. It's really, really simple. You just type in your data set, so mine is penguins, you put .shape at the end of it, and it just tells you the shape of the data frame. So it tells you how many rows and columns you have. So for penguins, it tells you there are 344 rows. Remember, it starts at 0, so 343, add in that 0, 1, there you go, you got 344. And then it tells you how many columns there are, which is 7. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there you go. It's really easy. It's a quick way to just get the shape super fast, just to know how many rows and columns you have of your data frame. So shape is pretty helpful. Notice there's no parentheses after that. You can just type .shape and it gives it to you. The fourth one I want to show you is .columns. Very similar to shape. There's no parentheses or anything. You just type in your data set, put .columns, and then it's just going to give you this little index of all of the columns that you have. Okay, which is just a brief little list. Okay, so it shows you their species, island, build length, build depth, flipper length, body mass, sex. So it shows you just what columns you're working with. Again, it can be really nice, again, if you just want to get a quick list of them to see what you're working with. Again, sometimes data sets have, 50 or 100 different columns. It's nice to be able to see like what is here, what's not here. Again, and it's super simple. It's just, 2 words with a dot and you've got your data. The last one I want to show you today is our dtypes method. Okay, so it's .dtypes, which is data type. So it tells you the data type of each of the columns that you're working with here. It's also a nice way to just see your column names too in a little bit more visual way if some people like the charts a little bit more than the lists. So again, you just type in your data set, put .dtypes, okay, and it's not data types or anything like that. It's dtypes, okay, just the letter D types, all one word. Again, no parentheses afterwards. And then it just gives you your columns, okay, so species, island, build length, and so forth, and it just tells you what data type they are. So it shows you that the ones that are text, telling you that you have, Gen 2, or is it male, female, whatever, those are your objects, okay, it tells you those are objects, and then it shows you that we have float 64s here as well, which are your numbers, okay, it's telling you that, this is 46, this is 14, this is 217.0, things like that. So again, it's a really quick and easy way to show you, what data types you're working with here. It's also helpful so like what you can do with them. Again, you're not going to be able to be doing math with your species or your island, but you can do math, get averages, things like that with the build length or the build depth because you got numbers there. Okay, and again, it shows you the different data types present in your data set. So I hope that was helpful. Again, it just gives you a few different structural inspection methods to look at your data. Each one's super quick and easy, kind of things you can do at the start of looking at a data set for the first time, or returning to one that you need to refresh your memory on what it looks like, shape-wise and structure. I hope that was helpful, and thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and have a good day.